You start stacking those every day, 30 days later, you've gotten like these 30 wins in a row, and it feels really good.
It's sort of like the 1% everyday concept, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But just we talk about progress, we talk about growth, we talk about scale, and the overnight success kind of stuff. I think it's all mostly bullshit, and I think
It's
all
luck.
these things happen when
It's luck.
because you stay consistent.
Mhm.
You're consistently working towards a vision for something better,
Yeah.
and you are, carving that piece of wood a little bit at a time,
Yeah.
committed to it every day until at the end of that process, however long it takes, you created something pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how growth pretty much in all the categories.
I think so. It just seems really obvious once you've done it.
Yeah, but the world doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, there's
get
the
constant-
30-day weight loss guarantee and the fast meals and the blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's...
But I've gotten, in the past probably 3 or 4 months, I've gotten very, like you're talking about being draconian with, where you decide to do what and stuff. But I've gotten that way with my focus. Like, I'm not doing that right now, We're just turning something off, like whatever, your text or Slack, just don't look at it. I mean, the difference when your wife is texting you versus somebody else.
Right.
I mean, you can look at it and be like, I don't care. I don't have to respond to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this thing,
Yeah.
And just doing that. I know it takes a little discipline, but like, it's super, you have to get that way. You have to have some focus.
Yeah. Agreed. So I have one, it wasn't originally on my list. And then I thought about some of the work that we've done this year. And in particular, we had one client that, where we, several of our lessons learned are converging around this project. It was a large project, one of the larger projects we've done at Period 3 in a while. And it was great, collaborative, lots of partners. I mean, it was a creative sort of jamboree, if you will. And it was cool to work with all these people with all these backgrounds and disciplines and skill sets. I wanted to bring up a lesson that I think made my list because of a decision that you made.
Ruh-roh.
No, it's good. It's good. And I think it's the way I live my life too, but like it really came into focus. And the lesson is do the right thing. Even when it fucking sucks.
That's my next one.
And so
let me just meld it together. Okay. So I got to thinking about that. I don't want to dig into that live on a podcast for the world to point out how much we suck later, but we can talk ambiguously. But I do have a very good example of that. These two things kind of happened at the same time for me. You're talking about the project where we had to make some integrity-based decisions, and I feel like we've made the right one. So I've been teaching I've been teaching karate for almost like a little over 5 years now, and I've never had to fail anyone on a rank test. Like, I've always been very good about like making sure they're ready. You know what I mean? Like if we have a rank test and I'm like willy-nilly like, yeah, come on, test, we'll see if you're good. That's kind of on me if they fail because I didn't make sure that they knew the things they were supposed to know. You know what I mean? So I take responsibility for that. But this person they were ready. I'd seen them. They were good to go. Like in class, they were killing it. Invited them to a rank test and they imploded. Like just completely nervous. I don't know what it was. They couldn't remember like basic things. It was like, what is happening right now? And I know that they know this stuff, but the point of the test is on the day you have to show up and do it. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You got to do it. And I had to fail him. And it broke my heart because I really love this guy. This guy, he's the type of person that like when he enters the room, like the room is happier. You know what I mean? Like it's just the best person. I love him so much. And I just had to hug him. I'm like, man, I love you. What would you like to do? Would you like to just watch the rest of this test, or do you want to, stick it out and finish? What would you like to do? And he was like, well, I'm gonna stick it out and finish. I'm gonna ride it out with my comrades here, Yeah. And he wrote it out, and it was cool. I mean, he still failed, but he failed it. But at the end, me and the other members of the board, I was like, we need to let's what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And they're like, I don't know, but maybe we give it to him and he can earn, he can just learn later. We know he can do it. I was like, you know what? Everyone else that's come before him has done these things, and he entered the same thing that a dozen people before him have done, and he couldn't get it done on the day he needed to do it.
Well, yeah.
So I was really having my integrity tested, Because as much as it's the first one, as much as I want something to happen, if I just let it happen, that's gonna down the line. That's gonna
That
be
doesn't
even
serve him.
worse.
Yeah, that doesn't serve
Well,
him.
what about the next person?
Yeah.
What about the person
Yeah.
after that? Next thing you know, I'm just promoting people and they don't deserve shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I
Yeah.
have this. That's how you get the McDojo or whatever people talk about. But
McDojo.
that was a real test of my integrity. So one of my things is lesson learned: stick to your integrity, because I think no matter what happens, if you do the right thing, if you stick to your integrity, if you stick to it, good shit's going to happen in the end.
Yeah. So
in the very least, you'll go to your grave not feeling like an asshole. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
And that should probably be the reason why you do it.
yeah, I think
Because-
so.
So that you are